I am, and that's not me trying to grow to fit into the mold that society wants me to be in. I'd rather be who I am and be accepted for who I am. So spend your time doing things that you love so that you grow in those things.
So I kind of agree more with Awais when I think that that growth is inevitable, because simply if you're not growing towards something, you're growing away from it. Like Brother Awais was saying, like if my everyday in quarantine, in winter break was the same, me binging 8 hours of a show, like useless TV and eating fast food, all day every day, then my bad habits are growing, my laziness is growing, my weight is gaining, all these bad things are happening. And so if you're not working towards something, you're working away from it. Every day you don't read the Quran, your knowledge and skill and ability and love for the Quran, they're all going down. Every day you do pick up the Quran, even if it's the same exact little amount every day, same exact thing, you're getting better at reciting. You're getting better at, loving the Quran, working on the way you recite, maybe things like that. So it's as simple as that. I feel like if, like kind of like you said, if you're not using your time and growing towards things that you enjoy doing, that you want to be doing, that are beneficial for you, then you're growing away from them. For me, again, like Awais actually said, like he wished he spent more time as a kid reading. As a kid, I actually would only read. That was like my favorite thing to do, whether it just be like, useless books, informative books, just all kinds of books. I would just read everything. And I can't remember the last time I picked up a book that wasn't the Quran or a textbook now. Like I don't read recreationally anymore. And it's because every day I didn't do it, I grew away from it, as simple as that. So yeah, simply grow towards the things that are actually beneficial for you, inshallah. So the next question is, new year, new me is a very overused statement. How do you relate to it, and what does it mean to you?
Okay, so I think it is overused, but I think it's overused in the sense of it's just given no meaning, right? So everyone associates a new year with January 1st, but it's also a year from your birthday until your next birthday, right? And it's also a year from July 4th to July 4th. So I think removing the notion that the new year has to start on January 1st sort of gives that phrase a new meaning. Because a lot of the times I like to make goals on my birthday. So I'm 22 now, I'm turning 23 in September. So if I had made goals in 2020, then I'll say, okay, by the time I'm 23 in 2021, what did I achieve, right? So I mean, it is overused, but I say that sort of be able to dissect what it means to you. And is it really a new me, right? Or is it just the same person that's better, right? For example, iPhones. I've seen the iPhone when it first came out to now the iPhone 12, right? It's not that the phone has changed, it's an iPhone, but it's better, right? They're like, every year there's gonna be a new iPhone. Well, yeah, it's new, but it's an iPhone, right? So like, yes, I'm becoming a new person, but I'm still myself. So I think like really dissect what you hear and really be able to understand what you hear, because then you can give it your own personal meaning. And I've learned that along the way with a bunch of things that I hear people say, and I'm like, what does that mean when you say that? Like, why are you saying that, right? What is the context of it to you? Because if you follow what society says and what society lays out for everyone, it's nearly impossible to create your own person, because you're just gonna go along with what everyone is saying, right? Or what everyone is telling you to say or telling you to think. So I would challenge all of you guys to sort of think about what year are you committing to, and what me are you committing to, and what does new mean to you? So it's really just a matter of questioning yourself and being curious about yourself and the possibilities that that can present.
I really like the way that she put that. I think that if you were to look at it, instead of new year, new me, to new day, new me, every morning you wake up, you would see it as an opportunity to become somebody you always wanted to be. That's more secure, more confident in your appearance, more intelligent at school. So new day, new me. You get to wake up every morning and decide who you want to be. You can be the same person you were yesterday, you can be worse than you were yesterday, or you can be better than you were yesterday. That's all you have. So you have three options. So I see every day I wake up to be a better person, to be a better loving brother, a better son, a better friend. And again, that's how I see it. A new day means a new opportunity to do all the things you always wanted to do and to be the person you always wanted to be.
So I'm gonna start this off by just exposing myself first, because I'm a big New Year, New Me guy. January 1st, I'm out there posting snaps at the gym, and but 10 days later, I'm at home, couch potato, have 10 assignments due the next morning, and I'm just like, yeah, I want to go home, right? The New Year, New Me for me, although 10 days later, I'm still the same person I was, it's an opportunity for me to get up and make a change, right? And just like Brother Awais and Sister Shata said, you can make that New Year, New Me today. It doesn't have to be January 1st. I completely agree with that, 100%. On your birthday, you can do it. On July 4th, you can do it. Today, you can do it. Tomorrow, you can do it. It's just an opportunity for you to get up, look back, realize, and then make a change, and then act on it. The way I think of December 31st for me, when the fireworks are happening and you're looking at it and you're taking a video, the year kind of, I don't know if it does this for y'all, but for me, as I'm looking at those fireworks, the year kind of flashes back in my head, right? I kind of think, what did I do this year? What major events happened this year? It's kind of like a report card for myself almost. Kind of like the ones you get in school where you see all the classes you took and what grades you made in those classes and what projects you did. On the yearbook, you can see all the events that happened in the school year, all the impacts that you made for your class. While those fireworks are going on, I have that little highlight reel playing in my head. And I think, what did I do this year? Like, Asher, what did you do? Like, did you accomplish anything? Did you become any better than you were last year? What did you do? And that is a wake-up call for me. Next morning I wake up, I'm like, okay, January 1st, 2021, I have a clean slate, right? I can make this year good now. Like day one, I can be the better version of myself that I wasn't able to be last year. This is my chance. And those 10 days go really well. But then after those 10 days, you start realizing that, it's not working out. It's too hard. And so the solution to that is don't make it hard. Refresh that slate every month. Break it down. And I'm kind of incorporating the ideas that Brother Weiss and Sister Shetta said because I didn't think of that before. That's brilliant. Break it down. Don't make it every year. Make it every month. Make that clean slate happen on the first of every month and make your goals smaller, achievable goals. Don't make it a huge mountain and you're like, how am I going to climb that mountain? No, break that mountain apart into little steps, each step being the end of another month, and slowly achieve your goals. If you want to get better at basketball, don't look at LeBron James and be like, man, that's hard. You can't be like LeBron. No, look at your local high school basketball player and be like, okay, I want to be like him first. And then I'm going to work my way up. Train yourself. You look at Brother Shayan, Brother Awais, Sister Shazza, like, man, this is good Muslims. Won't be like them, mashallah. Make smaller goals. And then work your way up from there. That's how I'd go about it.
Yeah, I think you guys are all on the same page with this one, and I am too. I think it's not new year, new me, new day, new me. It's I don't see it as any of that. I don't know why that's happening. For me, it's simply when you realize that there's a need for change. You know, you wake up, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you're like, that needs to change, that needs to change, that needs to change. If you look at your grades, you get your results back, and you're like, that needs to change. You know, whatever you see, you realize you slept till 3 p.m. and you realize Fajr and Duha are gone. You're like, that needs to change. The second you realize change, boom, I'm going to start working towards a new me. I'm going to work towards a better habit or decreasing, you know, a bad habit. I think the second there's something in your face that's bothering you that you need to work on, that's what you need to change. Simple as that. And so the last question I wanted to go on to was, other than deen, what are other things you keep consistent in your life?
Okay, so I think I would relate strongly with Brother Awais when he said that the only thing consistent is inconsistency in his life. But it's not because I choose to be inconsistent. It's sort of a mixture of me not knowing how to become more consistent. Alhamdulillah, I think having deen as a consistency is in of itself a great accomplishment. That everyone should strive towards and be proud that they're working for it and that they've worked up to it. I guess like if I reflect on just a simple day in my life, really the biggest consistency is my school and my family, because that's all I am right now, a student. But I think, like, for example, I like to read every night. So that's a consistency of mine because I've loved to read since I was a kid. I always pretended I was like a teacher and I would just be talking to my carpet, but it's like I was talking to students. So I like keeping that little things that, little hobbies of mine that sort of allow me to relax and de-stress in a sense. I like to keep those consistent. I also really like to paint. So although I don't paint every day, I could sketch a little bit. Thankfully, I'm in a major where I have to sketch and I have to draw. So that helps me out. But I think what I'm working towards and what I would like to have consistent are the hobbies that I enjoy doing. And I think once I accomplish something like that, then it'll just be easier for me to not only live every day, like to just be able to really enjoy everyday life, but to start looking at things differently because I'm doing things that I enjoy. And that I think when you start doing things that make you happy and they're a consistency in your life, then your perspective changes because you find yourself less stressed, you find yourself able to be more expressive. And it doesn't have to be something creative. If you like doing math, I love math. If you love math and math makes you happy and you feel like if I did a problem every day that made my brain hurt, then I want to do it. And that's a way of you relaxing, right? Or if you like to play basketball, so I have younger brothers that love playing basketball. And it's a consistency of theirs that they have to play basketball every night. So find something. I think hobbies, making it a consistency is a really good way to learn more about yourself and to just be able to relax and appreciate basic everyday life better.
So for me, it's a little bit different, right? I actually thought long and hard about this question too, and to be honest with you guys, I even asked my sister this question before coming. I was like, Haji, what am I consistent with? Can you tell me? Right? And I can't answer that I'm consistent with the gym because I'm not. I'm not consistent with waking up early in the morning. I'm not consistent with the main things that people want to be consistent with. But the point I'm trying to make here is we're all in different lives. We're all living different lives with different situations, with different things going on in our lives. Some of us are students with crazy schedules, classes starting from 8 a.m., ending at 5 p.m., and the rest of the time we don't even get to enjoy, but we just have to do homework until the next 8 a.m. class, right? Some of us are working in insanely busy schedules where we have a 9-to-5 job, and when we come back home, we have to spend the time with our family. And things are different for everybody, but currently in my life, my consistency is with my family, right? My consistency is waking up in the morning, making a little schedule with however many hours I have left in the day on how I can delegate that between school and family, right? How many hours do I give to school today and how many hours do I give to family today? Sometimes our families are in tough situations and they need our help, right? And they need us to make sacrifices. They need us to make sacrifices of us going and having fun with our friends. There have been so many times where my best friends here have gotten mad at me because I've missed coming to the masjid. I've made it a thing to at least come to Mariam at least once a day to meet these guys, and they've gotten mad at me. They've texted me like, Asha, where are you? We're here. You're not here. And I make plans to go eat with them, or I make plans to go hang out with them and do stuff while I'm here, but they get mad. They're like, Asha, you're not being consistent. And the thing is, sometimes you have to make sacrifices and see what your priorities really are, what you need to be consistent with, and what you might have to postpone being a little consistent with. So it's okay if your family is going through a tough time and they need some help. It's okay to move around your consistent schedule to where you put less time into going to the gym every day so that you can make your mom and dad a little bit more happy, helping them out with their work. It's okay to move your schedule around to be more consistent with your school rather than fun. And personally, I would say that my biggest consistencies would be lying with my family and my education. And although it may suck that I can't go to the gym, that I can't go out and have fun with my friends, and I can't give time to even the masjid as much as I want to, I think it's really important to be content with the things that you can be consistent with and continue keeping them consistent and appreciate that consistency, even if there's very little consistency in your life.
Man, the only thing I'm consistent with is stressing. Stress all the time, and I always want what I don't have. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about that. And He made insan the type of creation that if he had one earth full of gold, he'd want another earth just like it. So I think the draw of this question is, the importance of this question is, what are we staying consistent with? And how do we take the things that we're consistently doing that are bad for our health and change those to something that is good for us? If there's one advice that I could give everyone here is hold on to Quran. Read it every day. Be consistent with reading Quran and read one ayah. It doesn't matter. Read whatever you can. The Quran is something that will protect your heart until your last breath. You don't want to be like Pharaoh, man. Like you can turn your back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all you want, you can be arrogant. You can do all these things, but at the last moment when you face death, you remember God. I work in a critical care unit where people are close to dying. And guess what? I'll start believing in God again. You want to solidify your belief in God, then read what He has to say to you. And that will answer all your doubts and make being a fortress for your heart.
All right, guys. So, just like our other panelists, consistencies other than deen, that's a tough one. It's a weird one. I feel like I'm consistent for, a span of time, but not for much longer than that. But I wanted to mention some things that are worth keeping consistent. Some things we can work on, right? Some takeaways. So some have already been mentioned, but they're really simple. One would be a smile, because regardless of what you're going through at home, at the workplace, in your mental, or even with your friends, whatever it is, school, keeping a smile is really, really important, because I know if y'all haven't experienced this yet, y'all will, but if you've ever lashed out at a friend, a parent, a sibling, a stranger, because of something else, because you were stressed out about something else, you feel horrible afterwards. First you get it off your chest, and you're like, yeah. And you're like, what? Like, why did I do that? They didn't deserve that. That was so wrong, right? You feel it later. So one good thing is trying to keep a smile on your face. I know we're wearing masks and no one will have any idea, but when you get home, give your parents a smile. You might have had the worst school day possible. You might have hit the worst traffic on the way home, and you might have had the worst problems with your friends. You had 4 flats on the way. Your car wasn't even moving, right? Whatever happens, give your family a smile, because you don't know what they're going through. When you bump into your friends, when you finally get to meet up with your friends, give them a smile, because you don't know what they're going through. when you come to the masjid, recently for me, the masjid has been one of my only times of leaving the house. So I always try to wear a smile because I'm like, salam to everyone. What's good? I'm breathing the outside world. Like whatever it is, keep a smile on your face. It's the easiest sunnah. It's the simplest thing, and it actually goes a very, very long way. Another thing is to be consistent, like always said, with the Quran. It's a really big deal because even though like I don't speak Arabic, don't really understand what's going on unless I read the translation. Sometimes when I'm going through a lot of things in my life, I just try to put them on the back of my mind, try to put them away, and I just open up the Quran and reading it. Allah just helps me, and regardless of the emotional help it's giving me right then and there, I know it's helping me for the afterlife. So one thing you want to hold on to is the Quran, because it goes miles for you. It goes so far for you, you won't even realize it until you're in the grave and on the day of judgment, right? So keep the Quran close, keep a smile on your face. One other thing is keep close with family. In these tough times, crazy things are happening. I've had so many friends who have their parents who passed away. Not just because of COVID, there's other things. Last week, my uncle actually passed away, and you never see these things coming until they happen. You don't think every night, I wonder if I'm going to wake up with all of my relatives, until you wake up and you realize you're missing one, right? So subhanAllah, keep your family close, keep a smile on your face, keep the Quran close. And again, one thing about this question that stuck out to me is, it says consistency with deen other than that. But the deen tells you to be the best of mankind, to be the best of the scholars, to be the best in health, to be the best in every way. So that means being consistent with school. That means being consistent with your health. Maybe not going to the gym and becoming some kind of crazy bodybuilder, but making sure you're physically okay. Working towards a better health. Working towards better habits, being a better student, being a better son, being whatever, brother. Like I said, I think you mentioned a lot of them back then. But just work towards these things, because the deen is not just praying 5 times a day and poking the Quran once in a while. That's not what deen is. Deen is a lifestyle, and if to be consistent with the deen means to be consistent in many different aspects, right? So I think these are a lot of things we got to be consistent on. I know that not a single person in this room is consistent with all of them. I'm probably not consistent with any of them, but it's all things to work on. And here I want to wrap up. Sorry for going over time. I know we started late. Thank you guys for our panelists coming through. Yeah.
This just came to my mind real quickly, so I do want to add it. I read somewhere that when like Corona was first hitting, all the like news articles were like unprecedented times, uncertain future, and the person was questioning, when were you certain of the future? When were you certain of time? Right? When was this certain to you to where now it's not? And I think this goes hand in hand with being able to cherish that quality time with family, really reflect on yourself and think about what you can be more consistent in, how you can grow, what changes should you make. So keeping that in mind, that time is really a very sensitive concept, and that it was never certain, nor will it ever be certain to us in this life. And I think that really sort of wraps up a lot and makes you reflect and think about how you would go about your future and just your life in general.
Cool. So on that note, inshallah, I hope we all work towards being better versions of ourselves, starting right this very moment. Thank you guys for coming, and that's all. Tomorrow we do have a brothers halaqah separate and a sisters halaqah separate. So if you guys are interested, you guys should definitely come. It's going to be a lot closer, like a small halaqah discussion type thing. There will be food afterwards as well. Those are both after Isha, I believe. So yeah, you guys should be there for that, inshallah. And yeah, all right. Assalamu alaikum, guys.